Hello everyone, welcome back to the Beauty Professor. If you don't know me, I am Miss G. If you do know me, welcome back. Today I am going to do a beautiful look. I'm going to be doing full coverage, so you're going to get to see the buff brush. I'm going to be showing you a new shade called Rosewood, and I am going to be doing a gorgeous Western cowgirl style eyeshadow. Let me show you what these colors look like that we're going to be working with today, so you get the idea. Let's talk about prepping the skin before we even begin to apply makeup. So I put on a light moisturizer. It is silicone free. I can put in the links what I use. You want to use something that's light or no moisturizer at all. And I'm going to get to that in a second. Primer. This is my primer. You don't need primer with Seint Makeup because it's not going to move. If you have oily skin, the best way to treat that would be with those oil absorber papers. And Seint has those, skincare, and addressing your skin problems is the best way for your makeup to look better. Especially with oily skin. So if you do have oily skin, if you absolutely need a primer, you need a primer for oily skin, but silicone free. So silicone free is the ticket with Seint Makeup. So if you've been applying your Seint Makeup and it's sliding off your face, you probably have silicone in your skincare routine in the morning somewhere. So check for that. But all I do, so sunscreen, same thing. Use a sunscreen. I love this one. This is Glow Screen. It is silicone free. This one's great. I'm not going outside today, and it's crazy weather out there anyway. We're about to have a big storm. So as soon as I put this makeup on, I'm going to take it off. So I'm not going out in the sun, so I'm not going to apply sunscreen. But I am going to teach you about the setting spray. You want to put this on your skin before you start. I'm going to tell you why. So I'm just going to spray it into my hands. And this setting spray is hyaluronic acid. Hyaluronic acid, it doesn't burn. It's fabulous for your skin. It is a hydrator. And if you look in the group, or if you just know, you need to hydrate your skin plus moisturize. So this also acts like a primer, but I'm putting these fabulous hydrating ingredients on my skin before I apply Seint Makeup. Now it's lightly scented like coconuts. The scent dissipates really fast. I love it. It smells fantastic. It's very tropical smelling. But it has niacinamide in it, aloe vera, and hyaluronic acid. All hydrators for the skin. So I just hydrated my skin. You can see it's got a nice glow. So when I go to put on my 3D foundation, I'm going to be locking this in because this makeup is an occlusive. It has 11 ingredients, but 5 of them are occlusives. One, which is beeswax, which is fantastic for skin. It's going to hold this hydrator, this moisture that I just put on my skin in all day. So if you suffer from dry skin, you have maturing skin, you want to plump up your wrinkles, you want to hydrate this skin, you want to get that glow going, you need to use this before. I'm telling you, it's amazing. And then apply this makeup. So think of this as your first step. First step is priming your face with setting spray. If you have dark circles under your eyes, you know how tired it can make you look, how it can make you look older. And the more concealer you put under there and powder, the more you are brightening up that area, and it's not color correcting it, so it's going to look a little gray. That concealer and the powder is going to dry, and then it's going to start settling into your fine lines, textures, and wrinkle, and then it's actually going to emphasize all of this area. So there's a better way. There's a better way. And as we age, we need to find better ways to apply our makeup. You know, we should not be using concealer or liquid makeup anymore. They consider, experts consider mature skin 35 and up. I'm 52. And when I switched to Seint, I've just have been in love ever since. I've used it for a year. So I'm going to teach you how to color correct right now these dark circles. So for the right job, you need the right tool. And this is the Blur brush. It is my favorite demi brush. If you can only afford to get one, this is the one I suggest. It is fantastic. It's got the perfect head to do under the eyes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do one eye here on camera just to save space. And then I'll do the other eye off camera. But I'm going to just show you the difference. So it's always amazing. So we all have different shades under our eyes, and both of my eyes look completely different. Like this one, we're looking at it, it looks like it has more red right here. And this one has more sun damage, more brown under it. So I need to handle both sides a little differently. And luckily there's a shade for that. And what I'm gonna do, it blows my mind every time. So it's color science. I'm not doing a color science lesson. I need to do one. I'm going to do one. But what I'm going to do is color correct. Let's see, which one should I pick? This one? Let's do the worst one. Let's color correct this eye. I'm going to show you how to do that. Let's pin my hair back. Let's get serious now. So I hope everyone's doing well. I hope Easter is right around the corner. I hope you have a fantastic Easter. I love Easter. It's such a beautiful time. Okay, so this is called Demi. There are multiple shades of it. It is just colored wax. And they have a letter and a number. The letter stands for the color. The number stands for how much pigment is in it. So let's look at this one. This is 03, meaning orange with 30% pigment. And this is 01, meaning orange with 10. It's 01, meaning orange with 10% pigment. Okay, so the darker the problem, the darker your skin tone, the more pigment you're going to want in that shade. So this one, it's pulling some red today. Sometimes I have to color correct this red before I jump to this stage. So that's what we have to do today. So to color correct red, on the opposite side of the color wheel is red. If you would mix red paint and green paint together, you would get brown. They cancel each other out. So that's the theory behind color science. Hairstylists do it all the time. So if you have platinum blonde hair, if you're gray and has some yellow in it, your hairstylist puts a shade of purple on it because purple cancels out yellow. So it's the same science. It's just we're doing this on our face. So I have this shade. It's called YG1. And if you look under guides, I use this for redness on my face. And today I have some redness under this eye I'm going to need to address before I jump over to the blues. So I'm going to take this brush, the Blur brush, and I'm going to go into the YG1, meaning yellow, green 1. Yellow counteracts purple. So it has some purple and has some red. So this is going to be a perfect shade. So if you have red under your eyes, you might need to start with this first. So I'm using the smallest amount, and I am just going to put this where it is dark. The darkest spots first. And you can watch as I do this how I am just nullifying that red. Goodbye, red. And then I have other areas of red, but I'm going to be doing full coverage today, so I don't need to color correct. But there. Now, this eye looks a little closer to this eye. It looks a little better because I got rid of the red. So I got rid of the red first. Okay. Now, let's color correct the blue. So we have blue veins underneath our skin. Now, depending on what color your skin tone is the way the blue is going to present itself through the skin. So if you're olive toned and you have blue veins in your eyes, blue under green, it might appear more bluish green under here. Okay, so you that's why you need me. You contact me and I will help match you to the perfect shades. Okay, so you just would send me a selfie of your under eye and then I would pick out the demi for you. So there we go. We've color corrected that red. Let's move to the blue. So I'm going to move over to the 03. I'm going to take my blur brush. I'm picking up a little bit. I've had these for a year now. I've been a Seint artist for a year. The 22nd is my Seint birthday. And so much good has happened to me since I have become a Seint artist. I can't even tell you. You're going to see it. It's coming. I'm not going to ruin the surprise. But just good things are going to be happening here at the Beauty Professor. So I'm going into this darkest area with 03. Right here in the darkest. So we get that scary pocket. Yours might be blue, it might be purple. You might need a shade of yellow in here to color correct this. But this 03 works great because I am showing blue through there. So see how that is gone? Let's look at this side. See that dark scary spot right there? Now look at this. See, it's gone. It's amazing. Up close, you can't tell that I have makeup on. And that's the beauty of this. It's genius because we don't want to have we don't want to see that bright concealer under there emphasizing these lines and wrinkles. This is wax. This is an occlusive. It's holding that moisture in on my skin and it's not going anywhere. It's not going to move. Okay, so let's go into 01, the lighter shade. And I'm just going to lighten up the rest of this outside of my eye. I think demi is my favorite part, one of my favorite parts. Oh gosh, I love makeup so much. I don't know. But this is just, it blows my mind every time I get so excited. So we have a blue vein that runs right here. Grab some of your 01 and tap it on there. If your vein is showing purple, you're going to need a yellow shade. Okay, so I covered up that. And let's just put a little bit more here. Now I'm going to take that 01 and I'm just going to even this all out. Yes, I'm going right on top of that YG1. I'm going right on top of 03. And it has brought it up to this level now. And I'm just tapping 01 right on top. Is that 01? Oh my gosh, yes, that's 03. Let's put 01 right on top. I have these bright lights in my eyes blinding me. Okay, so that is pretty stinking perfect. Let's get up under here just a little bit. Alrighty, so this side was worse. Remember how bad that was compared to this side? Look how much younger I look. I mean, it's crazy. This stuff is crazy good. Amazing. All right, and then I have one more secret. This shade right here, R1. I love this shade. It means red, 10% pigment, but it's pink. And pink is one of those shades that wherever you put it just makes your skin look younger. So I'm going to place this right along here in this trough that we get and down the side right here, and you can watch what happens. I'm going in, just getting a little bit, and it's just a small amount because we like to build, and I'm just going to watch this happen. Oh, see that? It's so exciting. It's like I'm getting youthful baby doll skin all of a sudden. And when you first start, you're going to want to play around. You want to play in makeup. That's what I did all the time as a little girl. You need to practice what works for you. This works for me, but it might not work for you because you might have different shades under your eyes. Yes, these are pretty stinking good for almost everyone, but you might need some more yellow than I do. Okay, so I'm going to take this pink and watch. I'm just going to pull it down over this side. Look at that. Is that amazing or what? Amazing. Okay, so I will list the shades that I used. If you want personal help, contact me. I'm here. I'm your artist. I don't charge for help. I'm not pushy, but I love helping. I love when you get results like that and then you text me and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm so happy. I get those texts all the time and they make my day. But look at that, okay? So both my under eyes are color corrected. Let's begin applying our first 3 shades. And I am going to do some full coverage today because I'm doing a glam cowgirl look, just a Western vibe look. I'm feeling extra special today. All right. So these are my first 3 shades. This is what I'm going to teach you how to apply. Your shades might look different than mine. You're going to have a brightening shade. Think of it as your concealer. You're going to have a little bit darker shade. This is your main shade. Think of this as your foundation. And then the darkest one is your contour. These are the first 3 shades that if you have me color match you, you are going to get an amazing match. Okay, so let's begin. So I like to start with this middle shade, my darker shade, my main highlight. And this is the buff brush. I am going to use this brush for medium coverage. If you want lighter coverage, you use a different brush. If you want medium coverage, you use a different brush. Just contact me and let me know what you want, and I will recommend the right brush for you. So I love the buff brush. It gives the prettiest airbrush look. And when I say full coverage, it's just going to cover up my melasma and my sun damage, this redness that I have, but it's not going to look cakey and like makeup-y. It's just going to be beautiful, of course, because this is amazing, beautiful makeup. So I'm going to go in, I'm just dabbing in, and I'm just going to apply this on the outside of my face because the middle of our faces is where that brightening shade goes. So I'm just going to push it in. And I'm glad you can see it. I changed my background so you can see things better on my skin. Although I did love my bedroom background, it just, you couldn't see my makeup on my skin as well. So I'm just applying it where I need some coverage. I'm color correcting my eyes, so I'm going to avoid that area. I'm going to go down. So it's the outside of our face. Right up the cheekbones. This is not hard. You're just placing it on the outside face. This area right here, we're leaving alone because that is where the brightening shade goes. So you've probably seen people, artists putting dots on their face, and they're just doing that to show you the placement for the contour and the blush. It's like a visual guide, but really, this is really easy. So that's where your main shade goes. And then I'm just gonna do it like I do my makeup. Okay, so I'm just gonna blend this all in. So again, I'm gonna say this again. I left this area, this triangle, alone. So I'm just going to use that same end of my brush, and I'm just gonna push this into my skin. So you can see full coverage is full enough to cover up melasma, any darkness, like discoloration, excess pigmentation. It is enough for me to cover my redness. If you have redness that this doesn't cover, you're going to need to color correct a little bit, and that's where you contact me, and I can recommend a shade to put down, just kind of like I did on my eyes before you lay your makeup down. And that way you're not having to put on a ton of layers. It's just one layer makeup, because we want our skin to shine through. We don't want to see a face full of cakey makeup on our mature, lovely skin. We want us to shine through it. Now, if you don't already know, this makeup is clean makeup. It has 11 ingredients, 5 of which are emollient, or not emollients, occlusive. There's emollients too. An occlusive holds moisture in. So if you have dry skin and you're mature, that's why we say this is amazing. This is the only makeup for mature skin that you should be using. If you're using makeup, why apply it if it's going to make you look older? And liquids, concealers, foundation, liquid foundation, powders, settle the fine lines and wrinkles, and make you look older. Powders dry out your skin, so why in the world would we put that on our skin when we're older? It's just gonna make your skin dry and flaky and not be youthful and glowy. And the more you use this, the better your skin's gonna get. Now it's gonna feel a little strange the first month, getting used to it, because you're not used to creams. Your face has to get, the skin has to get used to this level of moisture. But I promise after a month, you are gonna love it. You're not gonna believe that you are using liquids at all. Now, if you touch your face and it feels sticky or tacky, you've applied too much. And that's okay. There is a learning curve when you first begin, and that's it. It's learning how much to put down. And when I first began, I applied way too much. But it still looked beautiful, but I was applying too much. One of these tins should last for about 4 months. The brightening shade lasts a little longer because you use less, but your main shade should last 4 months. It only costs $16. I mean, I think that's less than drugstore makeup currently. Now look at that. Isn't that beautiful? So that's all I did was push that in. Now let's start to build this dimension. So it is called 3D makeup because we're using 3 shades to build that dimension. Our skin isn't just one color. And I like using the analogy, if a painter was painting a picture and you give him 1 shade to work with, you really can't do, he or she can't really do that much. But if you would give that painter 3 shades, there could be dimension, there could be contour, there could be a picture. It would be so much better. So our skin, it's a canvas. It's the same thing. We want to build on that dimension, which will just naturally enhance our beauty. If we put 1 shade from ear to ear, forehead to chin, we are flattening out that dimension in our face. And it's difficult to bring that back. And then you're gonna have to use a lot of makeup to bring this contour, this depth back to our skin. Okay, I'm going on a tangent because I got so excited. Okay, so I'm gonna go into this brightening shade, flipping my brush over, I'm tapping in, picking it up. So this is going in that triangle area. So it's gonna go across my forehead, down the middle of my face, down the middle of the nose, right here. I have a little bit extra redness under my chin, nose, so I always put just a little bit more there because I need a little bit more coverage there. Thank goodness we don't have wrinkles right there. And then I already color corrected under my eyes, so I'm avoiding that area. And I'm just going to give myself a little eye lift. I'm just gonna put some out here. You can see how that lifts the eye. No more are we putting tons of concealer. You can already see how my face shape just changed. Under the eyes, we want to go light under there, color correct, and then if you absolutely need just a little bit more, just put a little bit right in here. That is all you need, okay? Let's blend this in. So I'm just going in with the same end. I'm just pushing this in. So up close, it's just a boom, 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 and I flick a little bit. We're not doing this motion with cream makeup. We are just tapping it in. And if you need a little more, you just go back and add a little more. It's completely buildable. And I do like to put a little extra right in the shadow of this marionette line. And this brightens up that area. Let's do that. See how that just lifted that area? Gave the illusion. Okay, let's blend this down my nose and between the brows. Good. There's our first 2 shades. And if I wasn't teaching, this would be going super fast. I need a little bit more of my main shade here on my nose. My nose is always red. I blow my nose all the time. Just allergies, and I just have one of those noses that if it gets cold, it starts to run, or if I get nervous, it starts to run. Let's put a little bit right here too. Just a little bit, brighten that up. You'll know where you need it. Okay, that is looking great for me. I'll blend a little bit more out here. And then what I like to do right now is I like to do this extra step that you should never skip. I don't see artists doing this very much. I'm 52, maybe that's why. This is a perfector sponge. It's called the perfector because it's going to perfect your makeup. So with the perfector sponge, you want to rinse it under water, squeeze it a few times under there, then put it in an absorbent towel and roll that moisture out. And then when it's barely damp, you know it's perfect. So I take this along with my setting spray. Oh, there it is. Setting spray. I put SS on it because without my glasses, I can't see anything. So it looks a lot like the toner. So I put, right? It's a tip, tiny tip. I write what it is. I do this with my shampoo and conditioner in the shower too. If you can't, you have your glasses off, you can't find you can't tell what's what, just take a Sharpie and write on there, S for shampoo. And it really saves me a lot of aggravation. So I'm going to spray this a few times and work this in. Let's spray a little bit on my finger. This is how I set under my eyes, just with a little bit. I don't want to pick up that color corrector. So I just tap that in, and that is going to set it. And using this is a whole lot better than putting powder on your face. Again, that has this is niacinamide in it, hyaluronic acid, aloe vera, good for you ingredients for your skin. It's going to hydrate and put extra moisture on that area. So I'm going to do that with this. So if you're heavy-handed, you might want to go over it a couple times. I have got the hang of it, so I wasn't heavy-handed. I am just pressing this product, the setting spray, into my makeup. So it's going to pick up a little bit, and it's pressing the makeup into the skin, and it's adding some hydration, some moisturizing ingredients, which us mature ladies just love. And that's all there is to it. This step is essential if you don't want your makeup to move. So it's not going to go anywhere. It's going to stay put without using powder. If you're having problems and your makeup's sliding and you're not using silicone, try this step. This is the best. So you can see how I just put that glow, picked up a little makeup, and now my face is getting that Seint glow. All right, let's move on to contour. Okay, so here's the lineup. This was the brightening shade, the main shade, the contour. The contour is cream. So if you're using a powder contour, it's drying out your skin. Powder is meant to absorb oil. If you are maturing and you don't know why your skin is dry and flaky and dull, it's because you're using all those powders, the blush, the contour, the bronzer. It's absorbing all that natural oils off your face. So when you switch over, it's just, I get, so excited. Okay, so here we go. Contour. So this one's a little bit darker than what I usually use. This is called Indigo. It's darker. I am out of my usual one. It's olive. It's going to be here today, along with a ton of other products. I'm so excited to see. So let's contour. My forehead is pretty wide. I have a heart-shaped face, so I have a wide forehead. I'm going to knock off some of this width and some of this height, and I want the center of attention just to be right here. All right, so we can do that with contour. This is the detail brush. If you can only afford one brush, you can use the brush that you have for applying your first two shades. But be mindful that maybe if you want to use one end for that contour, because you're going to be mixing your shades together in the brush. You're not going to get a true shade application after you do that. So I like to have the correct brushes for the job. So this detail brush is meant for this contour. The bristles are tightly packed. It is meant for picking up that contour. It fits perfect into that tint. So wherever I place this, dark pushes things back, light pulls things forward. I want to push back some of this forehead. So I am applying it at the very top of my forehead. I want some more of this to disappear right here. And you can see now how that gave the illusion that my forehead is rolling back. So now I'm just going to take, it's sort of like a rainbow, and the same thing, shading up in here. Don't get it in your temple, that'll make you have a peanut face. We don't want a peanut face. But we're gonna put it right here. No peanut faces, so keep it out of this area. We don't want to put anything dark here. We lose our volume here anyway, so you don't want to enhance that. It'll give you that skull look. Okay, so I just put it across the top of the forehead and then down the sides. And the contour is drier than these first two shades, so you don't have to be too afraid about, you know, getting your brush into it. My little bunny ears here. And then just down the side. And I really just created that bright area right between my eyebrows. Okay, let's do the cheekbone. So this is when the beauty, the magic begins, and I love teaching this part. So we're gonna start, fix that. We're gonna start at the top of my ear, and the line here, a good guide, is the outside corner of your eye. So this is a magic line you want to know. Okay, so we want to keep everything, our contour, our blush, those back here, okay? If you pull those forward, it's going to age your face. So let's go in. I'm just going to go on the side of my brush here. I'm starting at the top of my ear, and I'm just wiggling this down, hanging right underneath my cheekbone. And I like to aim it, instead of going down, I like to aim it up a little bit because I'm doing a lift. I don't want to pull down. So it's like a little whoosh going towards the corner of the eye. Can you see that? So when I'm, look at the difference, how high that makes in the camera, how high that just made my cheekbone appear. So that's going to give me a facelift. It's going to make my face look thinner. Let's do it on this side. So again, I'm just going wiggle, wiggle, hanging on the end of this brush, the top of my ear, and then I'm just wiggling this brush back and forth. It's a wiggle, wiggle. And then right here, I start to curve it up a little bit. And this is the way I prefer. Your face might need, you know, something else. You can practice, see what you like. But I have been trying it this way. I do contour different all the time because I like to play in makeup. I like to see what looks best on my face. But I really like the lift that this gives. Okay, we're gonna blend later. I just want this to sit here so you can see. Corner of the eye. And I think I went a little too far here, so I'm gonna show you how to fix this, okay? But not right now, in a minute. So I'm gonna go back in. We're gonna contour this jawline. So as we age, this starts to fall forward. Maybe we slip on our face too much. We're getting some jowls up by this time. This under our necks can start to fall down. Maybe we put some pounds on and our face is a little rounder. We can fix all that with contour. So let's do this side so you can watch the magic happen. So the placement is underneath the bone. It's not on the bone, it's underneath. So I saw someone doing it like this the other day. I kind of, yeah, you want to make this job of the Hutt face. And we're going to do it like that. So it's down here, under. So I can see, put my head back so you can see. See, I'm going underneath, putting a shadow here, just following this line. This little bit of, I'm going to knock off a little bit of this chub right here. Right. Okay, can we see a difference? So the dark pushes back, light brings things forward. See how that has, you can totally see that. See how it's pushed that back. Now I have a little trick for this right here. We can disguise this by just going up here on the bone and just placing a little bit over top of that. Just a smidge. Okay, now look. You can really see what that just did. Okay, let's do the other side. So I'm going right underneath the bone. And a tip is immediately blend this out because it's easy to forget. And then you don't want to walk around with your secret on your face all day. Okay, I'm gonna go up right here. And you can contour your chin. I leave mine alone. I like it to be pointy, but if you want to knock some length off, just put it across there. If you want to shape it, just shape it with a contour, just the way you want it. Okay, so look at how much thinner that made my face look. I have some cheekbones, the center of tension on my forehead's right here. Now we get to go have some fun. Do underneath the lip and the nose. I need a different brush. Okay, I love the multitasking brush. When I do small areas, I like to use a small brush. I see a lot of artists using their fingers. I don't like that method because your nose can end up muddy. I mean, you can put on too much product. Smaller brush is the way to go. So let's do underneath the lip. Now, why do we want to contour underneath our lip? Well, as we age, the bottom lip starts to fold in and it starts to lose its plumpness. We can put darkness underneath this bottom lip to push this back, and it makes the lip look like it's being pulled forward. You can avoid injections, ladies, by just doing this trick. So I have a pretty nice bottom lip. I have some moisturizer on there. I always do that before I apply my makeup, but I'm just gonna apply this. I like applying it right here at the bottom. I don't like doing the full thing. I don't want my bottom to look bigger on the sides. I just want it to look fuller right here. And I'm gonna need a mirror here. Turn on my light. And there are times I have to use a 10 times magnification mirror because I need glasses. Do I like looking in there? No, but it's better than having my contour line being all screwed up. So I recommend this if you have a hard time seeing. And then I just lined it like that. Now, it's further down than my lip line. And we're just gonna, while I'm here, I'm just gonna show you how. Now look, doesn't it look like it looks larger? It just looks plumper. I love that. Now you can even make it bigger by shadowing this out a little bit more. Really pushing this back. And then when you put your lipstick on, that's when that color is gonna bring the lips forward. This is just a beautiful little trick. And then just tap it in. You cannot see this because it's underneath your lip. Okay, let's do the nose. So, the nose, this takes some practice too. You wanna know your nose shape. Contact me and I can help you figure out where you want to put the lines. But contouring your nose, once you learn how, it can totally change your face. So let's look at my nose. It's wider here from the nostrils, and I have like a bulb on the end of my nose. I want to make my nose look slimmer through here. I want to slim down these nostrils, and I'd like to make the bridge of my nose look more narrow. I can do that with contour. So I'm just taking the multitasking brush and I'm just dipping in, getting a little bit, and I'm just gonna follow my eyebrow right there as my guide. And then I'm going, you can see the natural shade there. I'm going above that because I want these lines to be close. So I'm going up on to the nose here. See the difference there? So I'm shading this in, pulling this down, and I'm just going to end it right here. Let's do the other side. So I'm taking this in, and if you mess up, it's cream. It's erasable, very easy. I'm going to show you how to do all that. But I'm making this line the closer you get these two lines together, the more narrow you can make your nose appear. So I went a little crooked here. I'm gonna pull that down. We're gonna blend all this out. Okay, and I'm gonna re-brighten that. All right, so now we are down to this bulb and the nostril. So let's knock off some of this nostril. So I'm just gonna place a little bit outside here. See how that just shaved off that? Isn't that crazy? Contour, it's amazing. It's like Demi. I get so excited when I contour. Okay, now all I have left is that ball and then in my nose. So I'm gonna make this look triangular here. I'm just going to draw this to a point. All right, so now what I have is a bright bridge of the nose and a bulb. Let's just leave this alone. We're gonna come back and leave this towards the end to blend out. I just want you to be able to see this. Okie dokie. All right, let's go blend out the forehead. Okay, so back to the detail brush. I am just going to push this in, and this is going to go back into the hairline. You're just pushing, tapping it in, and pulling up to your hairline. If you wear bangs, you don't have to contour your forehead. I mean, really, what's the point? Take this dude out of the way. And I'm just pulling it back into my hairline. And go up to my hairline as much as I can. I don't want to get this in my hair. But let's do this side. And then I'm just pulling it back. Now you can see how the center of my attention of my forehead is right here in the middle. And with my hair down, you can see. Now we're not looking at my forehead, we're looking at that bright spot right there. Let's pull the hair back again. So when you have free time, just sit down and play. That's one thing nice about getting into your 50s. Your kids are grown. You have more free time for yourself. All right, let's do the cheeks. So I'm just gonna push this in, tapping in and pulling it up, just blending it in a little bit. My blush is gonna go on top, and it's gonna marry into it, so you're not gonna see that line on top. I'm gonna double check that it's back there, and it is. Look at that. Yeah. Okay, this going up. And then we're gonna take it up. I'm gonna correct some of that. I'm gonna show you how, because we all make mistakes. Blend in here, so we're just pushing this down. We don't want to take this up. We want to just take this down. So you're pushing it in, pulling it down. And then I like to pull some down the sides and leave this bright. This is going to slim the neck. Alrighty. The lip, just tap that in. Not a big deal. Now the nose, I'm going to flip this brush over. I'm going to flip the detail brush over. Now my skin is reactive. When I touch it, I'll turn off this light here. I think I have too much. When I touch my skin, the blood comes to it. So I'm just going to work on it. And then I like to go back later to check it out. But the important thing is we don't want to see this line. So I'm just tapping it in. Don't pull your contour under your eye. That wasn't good. That'll give you a dark eye. We don't want that. But I'm just wiggling this, blending it in. And then right here, I just blend this down. And then what we're gonna do, so get some dark up there, and you need to fix some of this. So it's super easy. So the bottom end of your detail brush, I like to use this like a magic eraser. So we're just gonna go back into our highlights. So let's fix some of this darkness. I just went into my main shade, and I'm just taking this, and I'm just gonna blend it in just a little bit here. blend this in a little bit here. It enhances that contour, but it blends it in so you don't look like you have a muddy nose. All right, now we're going to brighten up the center. So I'm going into my brightening highlight. I have this dark spot here. We're going to fix that. See how easy this is to fix? If you were working with liquids, you would have to go back in, open it up, put it on, dab it on. It's just so time consuming. This, no, you've got everything right here in one compact. Ooh, look at that, just brighten that up. And then I'm just gonna brighten up right here. Just tap this in. Okay, now I'm just gonna go back with what's on my brush and shade that into that contour so it just all blends in nice, so you can't even tell that I contoured. See, there's no line. And then right over here where I went too far, I'm gonna go back into my main shade. I'm just going to fix that. Look at that. Just take it back. Let's angle that up. And voila, fixed. If you want to, sometimes you can even do this, go into your brightening shade and let's give us a little bit extra facelift right here. Pull this line out, brightening shade right here towards it's like corner of your lip. Pull that out and look what that just did for me. Ladies, I'm going to teach you all my tricks. Okay, and then back into my main shade here. And then this is perfect, but I can make it better, more perfect. I'm just sharpening that line. Look at that. I'm liking this side better. Let's go back in and take some of this away. There we go. See how forgiving this is? So easy, so forgiving, and so stinking pretty. Okay. Now what I'm gonna do right away, because I don't want this contour on my nose to budge. I'm gonna powder my nose right now. So I'm gonna go in, I'm just gonna find a clean brush. So here's a clean brush. Vanilla Dust. I love this setting powder. I don't talk about it enough. And it's mainly because I don't use much powder, but when I do need it, this stuff's the bomb. Wherever you place it, your makeup is not going to budge. It is finely milled, it's transparent, and I'm telling you, when you put it here, your makeup's not moving. So I don't want all this work I just did here to move. I'm gonna powder it under my nose, and it just perfects it. Okay, there we go. Now let's check over our work, make sure that everything's blended in. And it looks good. So that is your first 3 shades. Next I'm going to bronze. You go in with my blush and bronze brush. Now you really need this brush to bronze because you need the right tools to do the perfect job. This end of this brush is large. The bristles are not packed tightly. They're so soft. I love this brush. It's my favorite brush. But it is meant to do bronzing because look how big this brush is. It is meant to disperse the product finely across the face, whereas you wouldn't want to bronze with this little brush. This is why it's called the blush and bronze. This little bunny tail cute side is for the blush, okay? And you can, if you're in a pinch, if you want real light coverage, you could use this to apply your 3D foundation. I have never tried it. I'm going to try it one of these days, but I don't do it because I don't want to confuse you. Okay, so let's bronze. We're going to bronze it up. We're going to add a bit of illuminator to it too. So these 2 shades are both Bella, and Bella is the best bronzer in the whole world, universe, the entire everything. It's a cream, so we're not putting powder on our skin that's going to absorb our natural oils. We don't want to do that to our mature skin. We want all the moisture that we can get. This is cream. So we're applying more moisture on top of moisture instead of a powder bronzer that's absorbing your moisture and your oils, creating dull, flat, dry, flaky skin, where this is going to do the exact opposite. Now I have 2 here because I'm just extra, and it fits perfect on your brush. And I hope Seint comes out with just a large tin of this, but that's the way I like to do it. Now, sitting next to Bella is this illuminator called Glow. And in this illuminator, it has a golden shimmer. I'm not gonna pick up a lot. I'm just gonna hit it on the end of my brush. And this is going to just make my skin bronzed and glowing and just beautiful. It's gonna look like I am a bronzed goddess, and you're gonna love it. If you don't have it, you need to get it. You can bundle it. You can get the Bella bronzer and this brush together. When you go on the website, go over to collections and drop down, get these 2 together, and you save money. All right, so this is, I've already contoured. Usually I like to bronze before I contoured, but I didn't do that today. So I'm just going to tap this where the sun would naturally hit. So if it's hitting me, it's going to hit me right here, across the top of the forehead. It's going to hit across the cheeks, right across the cheeks, because it's going to hit, it's going to go in my nose for sure, hit the top of my lip, hit my chin. I go back in, pick up some more. And then I want my neck to match my skin tone on my face, or it's just going to look off. So we want to just put this all over. Now this brush is extra glamorous, and I spend an extra long time just using it because it feels so good. It's a princess brush for sure. Okay, so I'm just going to go pounce this in. So we're not using this movement. We're just pouncing it in with all of the makeup. Pouncing it in. No flicking. So there's just a little bit of learning. It's not hard. It's just different. And once you've learned it, like I said, once you've learned it, you've learned it. And then you're good to go. Because this is the best makeup for mature skin. You can use this the rest of your life. And look at that. Isn't that just beautiful? I'm going to dip in and get a little bit more because I just want to be a bronzed goddess today for this look. Bronzing. Now, bronzing brings that glow to your skin. It just makes you look healthier, which makes you look younger. I keep it out of that area. This is the no-go zone. You don't want to have that peanut-shaped face, so keep the dark out of there. But I'm just pouncing on the balls of my cheeks, the top of my nose. I'm pushing in. Now, look how radiant my skin looks. It is glowing. It is gorgeous. You see my videos. I go outside and I film it. You can't, it doesn't look like makeup because it's not powder. You're not seeing all that powder. There's no cake. Because to make a cake, you have liquids and you have powders. We don't have that. So there's no cake. It's just glowy, ooey, gooey, moisture. I just love it. Hello. Okay, bronzing. There we go. Let's move on. Now I'm going to show you a shade, the new shade of quarter called Rosewood. All right, stay tuned. So right here is Rosewood. Let's check it out so you can see. Okay. On camera, it looks a lot more orange than it does in person. I mean, like a lot. That is crazy. It is more of a burnt. It's a brown for sure. A warm light brown. This would be a beautiful eyeshadow. Look at that against green eyes. It would be pretty with blue. It would be pretty with anything. Now, this is a color. It is very warm. If you are cool toned, I don't think you're going to be able to pull this one off. You could use it on your eyes for eyeshadow, but I don't think this is going to look very good on cool toned skin because this is super warm. This one is for a person like me with this red hair, the warmer skin tone, this is perfect shade for someone like me, the green eyes, a warm skin tone. So if you don't know if you're warm or cool, it's easy. You just look at your wrists, and if your veins are blue, you're cool. If your veins are green, you're warm. If you look better in gold jewelry, you're warm. If you look better in silver jewelry, you're cool. If you don't know, ask me. I'll let you know. So this is Rosewood. Let's do a swatch on my arm over here. And so you can see, it is a satin shade, and she is beautiful if you want a very warm orangey brown lip and cheek. So that's what we're gonna do. And so for this sort of Western look vibe I'm going for, and what had happened was Seint is having a contest for artists. They wanted us to do a makeup look that represented Texas sky. So I thought for days and days and days about this, and this is the look I was going to do for the contest. But then I read you have to travel there to do the look, and with my neck injury, I can't travel. So I thought, well, shoot, I'm just going to do the look anyway because it ended up so pretty. I'm just going to show you. So this is my version of Texas sky. It's a Texas sunset. So this is what the Texas sunset would look like if you would apply it as makeup. So I'm putting this on my cheeks, staying back here, up here. Remember, we have this imaginary line. And see how warm this shade is? So Renaissance is coming out. I don't have that one yet. It'll be here in a couple days, and I'll show you that one. I'll compare them all because it's very warm. So I put a few dots. You're better to apply it this way because these lip and cheeks and satins are super pigmented, and it's really tough to blend out a lot of cream on your face. So I would rather start with a little and then add as I go. So I'm tapping in. We're doing this tapping motion, and I'm pulling it up in to above my cheekbone, up here outside the corner of my eyebrow, keeping it out of that spot, but back here. So we're working on this line from the corner of the lip up to create this lift. Okay, so I'm just gonna pounce this in, blend, 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 and take it down into the contour, marry those two. What is on my brush, I'm going to pull up to my eyebrow, and I just start here and work it back. I leave this bright. And this is helping that continuity of the color, and it's creating this lift. I'm gonna smile and just bounce some right here. And then this should die down in color in a couple minutes because the blushes, the creams on your cheek get absorbed into your skin and it dies down. Plus I'm doing this motion, which is bringing blood to the skin. So we'll come back and check this to see if I need any more, or do I need to diffuse it? Did I put too much on? So we'll check it. So let's put a little less on this side. Let's do 3 dots, 2, and then 1 up here. Okay, so I'm just pushing this in. We don't want to use this blush motion because we'll move our cream makeup. So it's going on top of my cheekbone to the corner of the eye, back and forth, just pushing it in. And then I blend it into my contour. It is very pretty. I love this shade. But I think it is best for warm skinned. Unless you do a really cool eye, maybe you could pull it off. You could practice. This, I like to tell the truth with makeup. This is for warm skin ladies. Okay, there. I think 3 dots was perfect. This one I still can work with. I'm gonna flip my brush over and just pounce this. This is how you diffuse it if you put too much on. Okay, that worked. All right, I'll take what's on my brush and I'm gonna bring it up into my forehead. Now that's bringing the color throughout my skin, and it's making it look natural, like it's a natural blush, a lit from within glow. Very pretty. I am loving that with this turquoise jewelry. The contrast of this color with the turquoise is pretty. All right, there we go. We have some pretty glowing rosewood cheeks. Let's put this on the lips. So let's line the lips. Use my multitasking brush. I'm gonna go into I have moisturizer on my lip, but I like to have extra moisture on my lip before I put on a satin shade. And they've been exfoliated because satin shades emphasize dry skin on your lips, and we don't want that. So I've exfoliated them. I've moisturized my lips. Now I'm going to go into Suede lip liner. I love this lip liner. It's like the perfect shade to line your lips. I'm going to turn on my magnification mirror over here. And I'm just going to follow. I've already contoured under here. I'm just going to follow my natural line. I had something on there. Let's do this again. Okay. There we go. It is a very natural skin toned color. We don't want to make our lip liner apparent on older, mature lips, sophisticated lips. It just makes your lips look older. So we don't want that. We want to contour them and then use this as like another contour. It's just lighter. And then it's really going to make the lipstick pop. Okay, so can you see that? All right, let's go into this pretty shade, Rosewood. It does look so different on camera. It's darker than this. Okay, I'm just gonna start placing it in the middle of my lip. You can use your finger, but I like a precise lip. I'm doing the center first. Very pretty. And it gives me that vibe of the West. We have a shade called Desert Sunset. That would be pretty on top of this. It could cool off some of this warmth. But I'm digging it. And my hair color, I am loving it. So this will be available, let's see, April, May, probably end of June, or until it sells out. I don't think this one will sell out though. I could be wrong. Pink Lemonade does. And that Renaissance shade definitely is going to. I can't wait to show you that one. I'm doing that one next. All right. Beautiful. Feeling very Western. Now it goes so pretty with that bronzer, doesn't it? Okay, let's illuminate. Okay, let's illuminate. So I have chosen the shade Pearl, which looks white and it has the shimmer just like a pearl. Now this is a very warm cheek, so I'm going to cool some of this warmth down with Pearl because, you know, white is considered a cool shade. It's going to help balance out some of this warmth. So I'm going in with the end of my detail brush. I'm going to smile and I want some right here. See how pretty? And I'm going to follow up this line right here and help blend in my blush line straight up there. And then I just love it having it on the ball of my cheek. Can you see it? It's beautiful. So it's all about balance. If you're really wearing a really warm lip and cheek, you are going to want to add some cool tones. You want you're gonna wanna balance out with a cooler eye, which I'm about to do. There we go. Isn't that beautiful? So look at how pretty that is with Rosewood. And you can see how that balanced out that extra warmth. Now I'm going to place them above my eyebrow for an eyebrow lift. See it up there? So pretty. Let's go down the center of my nose, just a little bit on the end of my nose. So pretty. Now I'm going to use this on my lip, just to cool down this lip a little bit. Right in the center. Put a little glow down there. There we go. There we go. The Illuminator Pearl. If you don't have this one, it's a great one. Anybody can wear this one. If you don't know what shade you want, contact me. This is always a great place to start. I love Pearl. It is so pretty. You can put this on your chin. You can put it across, like a little bit right here. You can use it as eyeshadow on the inner corners of your eyes, on your lips. Possibilities are endless. You could put a little bit across your forehead, but I already illuminated with glow with my bronzer. Okay, so that's the Illuminator Pearl, and I got her a little smudged up. That's the Illuminator Pearl. Okay, let's do some eyeshadow. I'm so excited to show you these shades. Doesn't these shades just make a gorgeous palette? I balanced it off with this. So here we have Leo, we have Drift, Zion, Bayou, Airies, and this one is Coal with the Illuminator Pearl and the lip and cheek called Rosewood. I think these shades together are just gorgeous. So we are going to do this beautiful turquoise eye to go with this amazing turquoise jewelry for this Western vibe. This is my version of a Texas sky. I'm doing a Texas sunset, so it's going to be beautiful. So that is the look I'm calling this a Texas sunset. All right, let's do it. So let's do this eye on camera. I will do this eye off camera. I don't know why I just switched them like that. Because I like to do fun reels. You're gonna need an eyeshadow brush and the multitasking brush. All right. So by now, I'm gonna turn on my mirror here too because I need to see. I'm sorry, all that bumping. I need to see in a mirror when I do this. The camera isn't enough, so let's do this. All right. By now, our cream and makeup on our eyelids is creasing, and that is completely normal. So you want to go in. I'm going to use the fluffy end of my eyeshadow brush. You're going to want to go in to Vanilla Dust or your setting powder and set that eyeshadow. So this Vanilla Dust I love. It does the perfect job. So we're knocking off as we go. We don't want any fallout because I did my makeup first. And I am setting the eye. And I'm just gonna blend this all over the eyelids, down in the crease. And what this does is it sets the cream so your eyeshadow, I don't use eyeshadow primer anymore because of this. This does the job. My eyeshadow does not crease, it's gonna last all day. And when I go to blend my eyeshadows, they're gonna be silky smooth. They're not gonna skip or smudge because this powder's down. All right, the next thing I always do is go into Cupcake because it makes the most perfect brow bone shade ever in the world. Cupcake just needs to be in every compact for just this. It is the perfect shade. So I'm just doing up here. All right, there we have it. Next, we're gonna jump out of this compact and we're gonna go into this pretty one where I have all the pretty shades together. We are gonna begin with this beautiful, bright, orange melony shade called Leo. Now this is a pretty shade on all eye colors. I want to use this shade because I think it's going to make a great transition shade because it is similar to Rosewood. Not exactly, but combined with Zion over here, it's going to give me that continuity. It's going to give me a very sophisticated eyeshadow look, professional look, which is what I'm going for. So I'm going to use the fluffy end of my eyeshadow brush. I'm going around in a circle, and I'm just going to apply it on the upper part of this eyelid underneath Cupcake to the end of the eyebrow, both ends, okay? Just back and forth. I'm going to do another coating. I'm just going in a little circle here, smacking these off. These are super pigmented. They're very blendable. They're silky smooth. And when you apply them on top of each other, they look like velvet. Isn't that gorgeous? So you can see now how your eye is looking up there because this color is similar. It also is one of those shades that make blue eyes and green eyes pop. All right, so there to there, easy. Okay, now we're going into Zion. And this is going to go lower in that crease. Inside, outside. I'm not going any further than my eyebrow on both directions. Okay, so this is beginning to build that depth. Going outside, back, and forth. Just working that in there. Now, can you see the similarity with Rosewood? So pretty. All right, this eyeshadow is going to be so exciting. All right. Next, we are going to go in to this deep shade called Coal. And this is the shade we are going to make a crease with. We're going to elongate the eye with. We are contouring the eye with it. Now, both of these shades were warm, which my lip and cheek is warm. I bounced it off with Pearl to cool it down a little bit. These are warm. Now, Coal, Bayou, and Airies, Airies are cool. So this is going to balance that look out. All right, so we're going to be going into this beautiful dark smoky shade called Coal. I'm using the eyeshadow brush, the small end here. I'm going to pick up a little. I like to start with a small amount and then build up. So especially when the shade is dark like Coal, I don't want to go in there and put a bunch of darkness there that I'm going to have to correct. All right, so let me get into position here. I need to bring my mirror up, turn that on. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, so let's begin with this trick that I always show you, where I take the eyeshadow brush, I line it up with the end of my eyebrow. This is my line. I want all of my eyeshadow to stay within this area. If we pull darkness outside of that natural line, that is going to pull the eye down. And this, I teach you how to contour the eyes with shades, light shades to dark, to help lift this eye to stay in these lines that we're creating. So to do this, I line it up, I just go straight down. And where my natural crease is, that's my starting point. So I can put a dot right there. I'm gonna pick up a little bit more. Okay, so that's my starting point. And then I'm gonna pull this down like a slant. Almost like I'm doing a eyeliner and a cat eye style, all right? So let's do it again. We're gonna put a dot here and then pull it forward. And then to darken it up, we're just going to keep repeating. So darken it and then pull it forward on a slant. See how easy that is? Now we've elongated that eye. If you want to elongate that eye, you can follow this line up just a little bit more, and now see how it just pulled my eye out. So an elongated eye is very trendy right now. So let's do that. Ooh, this is gonna be so pretty. So that's our line. Now we are going to build dimension in that crease. So I'm going to start on that line, and I'm just going in my natural crease this time. So I'm just pulling it over, pulling it over. We'll work on one stroke motion this way. So just pull it over, pull it over, pull it over. And I'm going to go in one more time, starting here, because we want the darkness to be in this corner, and then pulling it down. So this is what we have so far. Now let's take this and just even it up right here on the outside, and then just blend this up a little bit into Zion. Isn't that beautiful? Now immediately that is cooling down this look, because coal is a cool shade. All right, I'm loving it. Okay, now the fun's gonna begin. We are going to go into the gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous shade Bayou. Let me put a little bit on my finger so you can see. Look at that. It is a shimmer. It looks just like the Caribbean Ocean. Turquoise necklace. If you like to wear turquoise, this is the eyeshadow for you to pull that color up to make your outfits look better. So excited. All right, so let me get the multitasking brush. So this is the flat end of the multitasking brush. I'm going to pat this in. Make sure I don't get any Airies. Just pat it in on the brush. And again, we're going to apply a light amount and then add more as we go. So let's just start right in the center of the eyelid and tap that down. And just keep doing that. We're going to build up that shade. So just tapping it down. All right, so I have a good amount there. And let's work our way over and tap some down here. Tap some down. And this is going to, do you see my little sunset starting to happen here? A Texas sunset. So beautiful. Okay, so I'm just tapping this down. I'm going to go down a little further. So I'm going to go on the edge of my brush like that. I'm going to get a little bit, and I'm going to go into the center of the eye a little bit like that. And then I'm going to take this up into the crease. I'm going to blend it up into coal. Blend it out into coal a little bit. So it's just merging into that. And then let's do one more tap right in the center, because I want the concentration of this color to be right smack dab in the center of my eyelid. Do you see that? How pretty? Gorgeous. Oh, a pretty eye. What a gorgeous look. I wish I could have entered that contest. All right. Now we are going to highlight our brow bone. We're going to go in with a drift right here. I'm going to use the end of the multitasking brush, the end of this one, and I'm going to go in and pick up some. And then it's going up here underneath my brow bone. I use drift a lot. I just think it is the perfect brow bone highlighter shade. We have another one called Sabrina. I like it too, but drift is my favorite. And I'm just popping this brightness right here. It's like the sun is peeking through some dark, warm clouds. And it's just going right up here. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. And then this is gonna go right here. I'm gonna brighten up this inside corner, the entire corner here. Just coloring it in like it's a marker, and then brightening it up. I'm gonna pull it on top of everything. And then I'm just gonna tap it. There we go. How beautiful is that? Oh, this might be my favorite to date. All right, now let's do underneath the eye, and then we're going to add a little bit of extra at the end. So underneath the eye, you use the end of the eyeshadow brush. I'm going in to Leo, and this is going to go from the outside corner to the edge of the iris. So I'm going to start here and pull this down. I'm smoking it out. So I want these shades to all just blend together. And Leo is just so pretty under the eyes. It is not dark, so it's not going to make me look like I have a dark eye. It's just brightening up that eye. And the shade makes blue eyes, green eyes pop. Looks beautiful on brown too. Okay. Now we're going to go into Zion and pick up a little bit of that. And this is going to go on the outside. I'm going closer to the eyelashes. Going in. Like that. There we go. And then we're going into Kohl. Pick up a little bit at first. This is going to go on the outside corner, and I'm going to pull it up where it meets here, so it's going to connect. So let's go right here, keeping it tight, and I'm flicking it up into that area. See how I just connected that? Let's do a little bit more. Now, this is going to require, I think, a little bit. I have lashes on, but I want to put some mascara on my lower lashes. This is a Korean brand. If you're interested, just let me know. But I like it for under the lashes because look how narrow that wand is. So it's going to get every little lash. And sitting on top of those bright shades, my eyelashes are going to pop. There we go. I'm just going to go back and concentrate on the ends. If you have tiny little sparse lashes like I do, this is great because it has such a small wand. You can get all your lashes in it. And it doesn't irritate my eyes. I'm allergic to most things. All right. Now to finish this gorgeous look off, we're going to go into this beautiful Airies. It is a sparkly, a little bit of, I don't even know if it's glitter. I like to call it glimmer because it's like glitter and shimmer combined. It's a little bit chunky. And I want just a little bit of pizzazz right up here and the inner corner of the eye. So I'm going to go in with the end of my multitasking brush, clean off the end real quick. And I'm going to go into this beautiful Airies. I'm going to coat my brush. And I hope some of the sparkle shows up in the camera. But I'm just laying this down so the light just catches it. And it is so beautiful. And it reminds me of like adding a cloud up here with my sunset. And then I'm going to put some right in here for a little twinkle. Just patting that on. Just a little bit. Let's just do a little bit more. Probably if I use some setting spray, I could get more payoff. I'm not sure I want to. I just want it to be lightly up there. Okay, that is the finished, beautiful eye to go with this gorgeous Western turquoise necklace. I'm going to do the other eye off camera because you know I like to do those fun reels. And then I'll come back and show you the finished look. Okay, I'll be right back.